Welcome everyone to our Miami segment, which this is our 4-part segment about yours truly, Miami.
Yeah. We first of all, we love Miami. So we had to make it a segment situation where we talk to you about different things.
But there's so much to talk about when it comes to Miami.
I know. It was actually hard to decide that it was only going to be 4 episodes. So you're only getting 4 right now, but eventually we'll come up with the other ones because there's more.
There's more. So, as you know, March, we have 305 Day, which is a Miami Day.
Yeah.
I feel like Miami people are proud Miami people.
Yeah.
We're like Miamians.
Yes, there is a big crowd that is a very proud Miami, but there's also a big crowd that is very much like, oh my gosh, Miami. It had to be Miami. They're freaking late all the time, or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we have our things in Miami.
We have our things. But today we're going to talk about
today that's not
going
to work about.
Today we're going to stick to real estate. We're going to bring you a little bit more information on that. But because we have traveled to different places, Jen specifically has traveled to multiple places recently and has been inquiring about properties out there, and myself too, thinking about moving in a few years and looking at what's out there. We kind of want to give you a little bit more perspective of why people think Miami's expensive. Is it expensive? Do we think it's expensive, or is it not? And what are we comparing it to, right?
So yeah, Miami has a bad rap. Oh, Miami's so expensive and this and that. That we're the most expensive city and all. Well, maybe not the most expensive, but one of the most expensive.
We're expensive for Miami people.
Right. But I feel like, okay, so when I travel, I always go like on realtor.com or one of these sites because I always like to see what the prices are in those areas compared to here. Like all the time. You have no idea. It's like a sickness that I have. Like I'm literally will be driving. Okay, let me see what's here. Let me see. Oh, how much is that house for? Not because I'm going to move there.
Just to see, just out of curiosity, you're in the industry.
You know, and there's a lot of cities that I've gone to, and I have noticed it's like obviously metropolitan cities, like big cities, that they're just as expensive as Miami.
So which ones are you thinking about? Because
So at last year, at the end of the year, I went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Right? We went to Scottsdale, I went to Sedona, and we went to Flagstaff. Right? So Scottsdale and Phoenix. Scottsdale's beautiful. I mean, Arizona is beautiful. Yeah. If you guys ever have time to go, I suggest you go make that trip.
It looks like a spa. Just because everything is like the same neutral color. And
and we didn't do any spas. Go figure.
I should have. It's the environment.
I found out about the spa thing too late, and I couldn't get it. It was New Year's. Imagine there was no spa. But I did look at the prices, and the prices are just as expensive as Miami, at least in Sedona and in Scottsdale. Of course, there's some that are like $5 million that, maybe you get a lot more. A little bit more, but not really. So the only difference is we have ocean, they have canyons.
Yeah.
Like the view is spectacular.
Stunning,
You know, so, but they're just as expensive. South Carolina is not as expensive. It depends which part, but I've noticed that their prices are going up.
I think it depends. I think mostly in the metropolitan areas, for sure, you're going to find higher prices. Now, in comparison to Miami, you find that at least South Carolina, you think
okay. But that's where I was going. So South Carolina, sure, you can get a house there a lot cheaper than Miami or Scottsdale. Like, and every state I feel has pockets.
Yeah.
Right. No offense to South Carolina. But if I'm going to move to South Carolina or to Scottsdale, I'd rather move to Scottsdale. Yeah. Because it's funny because I always tell people, well, you don't have to live. If you can't afford to live in Miami, you don't have to live in Miami.
There's other places.
Like the younger people, I'm like, oh, you could, you have a degree, you can move to Orlando, you can move. But I get it. If I'm going to move, if I were ever to move from Miami, me personally, I would want to go to like a metro, like a Orlando, like a Scottsdale, like a city. Like where my sister lives, I know she probably watches this. I'm sorry, Terry, but I would not live there. I just won't.
Where does she live?
She lives in Inman, South Carolina, which is a very nice town. Don't get me wrong. You're like 45 minutes from Charlotte, North Carolina, which is also beautiful. But again, look at the prices in Charlotte, North Carolina. Pricey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if you compare Miami to Orlando, Orlando is a lot cheaper than us. But still,
life is
You're
different.
not looking
the
like
lifestyle is completely different because of it's.
I
Miami
just feel like
has a lot more.
I just feel like the $200,000 homes, single family residence,
Yeah.
is pretty much like a dinosaur right now.
in many places.
Yes.
Many places. Although I will tell you that
And I say single family, not condo, not townhouse.
I have been looking in Baltimore because my kids are moving up there at some point, and I'm thinking maybe in 2 years we'll go there. And as I'm looking for prices,
Don't be chasing your child all over the country. Let them live.
no,
Let
well,
them breathe.
it could be Baltimore, it could be Virginia, it could be Jersey, but they're all over there. We have one in Jersey, one moving to Virginia, the other one in Baltimore, the other one's probably going to Baltimore too.
okay.
So it's
So you
like
can't really follow
we
all
can't
of them.
really, yeah. So, but we'll end up north and looking into the properties there. You know, it's not so bad. We found a $1.2 million property that was a freaking ginormous, and it was gorgeous. You know,
No, yeah, there are some places that you're like, so you're used to seeing the prices here. Like I remember being in South Carolina and going, oh my God, that's it?
yeah. Well, 1.2 here.
No, I know, but I'm talking about like there were houses in South Carolina, like by my sister's house that were like 400,000
And they're nice. They're
or-
probably like
or-
4 or 5 bedrooms.
or 300,000. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, since you're used to here, it just makes you want to buy it just to buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But who knows? Maybe it's overpriced. You don't know.
Yeah,
But
well, you
for
don't know because
I feel
it's cheaper.
So that's how I feel about how New Yorkers feel
Feel about
about
Florida.
Miami.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, 1.2? Pfft, sure.
Well, and I was going to comment on that because New York, I always wonder, why do people stay in New York? And yes, they get paid better, is my understanding.
Well, I don't know how long that's going to last.
But yeah, for real. But with all the state taxes and the income taxes and everything, it's just, I feel like it's just so much taken away. And when I look at that 1.2, like staying within the 1.2, 1.5 range over there in New York, it's not it. It's just not it. It's a shack. It's falling apart. It's like
The
and
studio.
there is no way. I'm going to tell you, there's no way I'm going to spend that much money monthly. And maybe it's perspective. Maybe is income. Comparison to one person that makes millions and millions of dollars, whatever, they don't care. But to me, to have to spend that type of money on something like that just absolutely makes no sense to me. And also live the circumstances that you have to live in
and
in
the
New
neighborhood
York. And the neighborhood that you're
because
going to be in.
1.2, you ain't going to be in Manhattan.
No, you're not. You're not. Definitely not. But here in Miami, when you do the comparison,
You can go to Jersey.
yeah, I can go to Jersey for 1.2.
So I feel in Miami, I feel is like New York, and I feel like Homestead is like Jersey,
or Orlando too.
like no, because Orlando's too far to be like Jersey. We've been to New York, New Jersey.
Yeah,
'cause we have
yeah.
offices there. From
It's
New York
right
to
there.
New
Yeah,
Jersey,
it's
it's like right there.
45 minutes.
Homestead.
Yeah, that's true. And even Homestead.
Like if you go to Brickell, from Brickell, Brickell downtown Manhattan, Homestead, Florida City. I'm talking about Homestead.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even Homestead right
And
now,
Homestead
the
is-
prices have. You know
Yes,
what I
because
heard?
Homestead is popping.
Well, okay,
So much construction going over there, deals.
I heard that's becoming a situation.
I heard about that too.
because of lack of commercial businesses in the area to support the amount of people that are moving into the area, which it's a good problem to have for those of you that are looking to have a business. Maybe you should consider Homestead. Let us know. And shameless plug. And and have more opportunities for people to be able to consume whatever product it is that you're offering in that area, because it is needed. They don't have enough resources out there.
Right, like maybe you give massages and you want to open a
Yeah.
wellness. Oh, do they have that there?
Hey. But definitely
Imagine
the
why
properties
come
are
to
a
Miami
lot.
or Coral Gables to get your Botox when you can get it in Homestead?
And I think about this.
They probably have it. Who knows?
No.
I haven't been in Jersey. Homestead in a while.
It's an idea. You should
I
consider
might
it.
look into that.
But Homestead is definitely building a lot right now.
They are.
And it's because Miami's becoming a little bit expensive. Looking at properties in Miami alone, you can't find anything under $500,000. It's rare. It has to be like a
No,
small
not a
little
house.
condo.
That doesn't exist. That's a townhouse.
Yes.
Y cuidado.
And even that, you're like in
Cuidado.
the Everglades, okay?
Yeah.
You're all the way west.
But like, okay, so, but Miami, when it comes to Miami real estate, you have pockets.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So here's the thing.
But
I
at
know
500,
people are
there
like,
is
oh, but
no-
I want to live here. I know, mama, you want to live there, but you can't afford to live there. But you can afford to live here. So why don't you just buy what you can afford for now? It doesn't have to be the end game. And then buy what you really want in a few years.
Yes.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of people work in New
that's
York.
your- that's your option.
A lot of people work in New York and live in Jersey.
Yes.
Same thing here in Miami. A lot of people work in Miami and live in Homestead. They
Oh,
have
but the
to
commute.
sacrifice.
Everybody complains about the commute.
Not
but
for
at the
nothing.
End of
The
the day,
traffic going to Homestead is freaking crazy. I
yeah.
don't feel. It's what you said. I don't think they predicted the amount of growth,
especially
so
in
fast.
the last 5 years.
And yes, on the expressways,
Yes.
the turnpike has lanes, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's bumper to bumper, and it's not during rush hour anymore.
You know what I think they should do is a mass transit system, like a train that goes all the way to Homestead and another one that goes all the way to like West Kendall. Because if people had a transit system, then they don't have to travel
Okay,
by plane.
that might work in
By,
New York,
by plane,
but
by
I
car.
don't really see Miami people getting
If they
into
can't
trains
afford it.
and I know, but do you know how it is? Oh,
Because listen, it's
I even hate
tolls,
getting in an Uber because they drive too slow.
but the train is supposed to be like, you know.
No, I know, but I don't know. I just don't picture like Miamians.
Yeah.
You know, we had the Metro
Eventually,
Rail, we
I
had the
feel-
Metro Rail and all
Yeah,
that
the Metro
stuff,
Rail.
and people never. Have you been on that? Have you ever been on the Metro Rail or the Metro Mover?
Here's Jen calling me out. No, I have not. I've been interested.
I wanna know.
I've been interested in going on
Okay,
it.
I want to know. I want people to tell
I don't know where
us
to park my car.
how many people have actually gone on the Metro Rail, Metro Mover, or even the bus transit system, and how
Yep.
many times?
Louis
And I
says
wanna
he
know-
has.
Okay, and how many
How
times?
many times, Louis?
Yeah, well, yeah.
A
Okay,
lot?
so I'm gonna tell you, I was born and raised in Miami, and I could tell you, I could count right now for you how many times I've been.
But you live west, sort of. You know, so
Okay, but when I lived
when
in
our,
okay,
us Westies
the
don't
mo-
like to go east
when I
because we
lived-
have to park. We
okay,
still
when
have
I
to
lived in-
drive traffic.
when I lived in Brickell, I lived in Brickell, and I think I used it 2 or 3 times. And before that, I think I had used it like twice.
I lived in the Grove
So
for
I
a few
think
years
the
and I
whole
didn't use it
total
at
of all the years that I've lived here, which has been my whole life, I've used it
How
5
was your
times.
experience though?
It was great.
So why don't you use
Well,
it
because
more?
the first time I ever took it, I remember it was my first boyfriend. I was really young, and I told him I had never been on the Metro Mover thing, and we took it to go to the Heat game.
Okay.
It was like an adventure, like a field trip.
Well, that's what I want.
and then when I lived in Brickell, we took it, I think, to go to Bayside or something because there was a thing, right? We just crossed the street, and we're like, because driving in Brickell, it's a pain in the
Yeah,
ass.
it
You got to
is.
walk or take a scooter or a Metro Mover. There, yes, because you're within the area. But if I have to go from Homestead to Brickell for work and one of those things, no.
It might be easy. It might be easier. I'd rather
At
do
what
that.
time? Number one, at what time would I have to get up?
Well, at whatever time the it moves, you know.
And
Don't
then
they
with
have
my
like a
luck, I
schedule?
miss it. Then I get to work late. No. It would be horrible.
So you prefer going on being on in traffic?
I prefer doing what I do because I have a great life and I don't have to worry about those things.
She just have to.
I
drive.
love me. Go, Jen.
Way to plead the fifth here. Way to plead the fifth here.
But I guess if I had to and I had no choice, don't get me wrong. If I had no choice because I didn't have a car or whatnot, yes. I'm trying to make my son do that. I'm telling him, go use a bus, go use a Metro Mover, go. He doesn't want to.
They're useful. If you had a transit system close to you,
I think he
would
did
you
it
use
once.
Yeah.
And he was like, Mom, that took forever. I go, bueno. Work harder,
The
buy
bus
a
takes
car.
forever though, because the bus is in the same damn traffic. They did
I
the
know.
bus lane in the highway, which is I think it's a
But
pretty
how many
good
times
idea.
have you
But
seen a bus on the highway?
I have seen once.
I've
Only
seen it
once.
twice.
Well, you know what I do see? Freaking people trying to skip the damn traffic.
That might have been me.
No, you didn't. Of course. No, listen, whatever.
Just kidding.
Miami people like to use the shoulders to get around traffic.
I don't know who does that. So wrong.
We have
Or when they skip the line to the exit line. I hate when they do that.
if you have not watched our traffic segment for Miami, you have to. You have to just go back in our episodes and it's in there somewhere.
Or it might be the segment after this one. Who knows? She doesn't know what she's saying.
Listen, I'm the one that posts that. That one's going first in this one.
I don't know.
But yeah, Miami has very interesting things going on with real estate. There are transit systems. Well, not transit system, but like the bridge that they're building up, which by the way looks freaking phenomenal. I went to the Frost Museum and I went all the way to the 6th floor, and you can see the whole thing. Now I hate driving under it.
I know, dude. The
It's
traffic
scary.
sucks.
Yeah. Well, not traffic. I am scared because I'm scared that something's gonna fall. Like shit happens.
Yes. Okay, like the FIU.
Yeah, well,
bridge
the
that
FIU bridge, which nobody fucking parks.
Nobody
parks under the
goes
bridge.
bridge.
Yeah. Well, there's that one, and then there was a crane that fell
Oh, I didn't hear
from
about
the
that.
construction or whatever.
Oh, that was a while back ago.
Yeah, a few months back, and that fell on somebody that was just like driving or whatever. So shit happens. So
Shit happens.
I certainly do not like driving under construction. Like this bridge is like right over us in mid construction. But anyway.
Going back to real estate.
Yes.
Going back to real estate. So yes, Miami is expensive, but there's a lot of expensive places everywhere else. At least if you're from Miami, you might want, obviously it depends your age. Maybe you're older. You want something more calm. Like my mom did. She moved to Vero Beach. But even that's growing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we're in Arizona and people are like, oh, there's too many people. There's nowhere to live. And there's land
Everywhere.
But the thing is, I think
Could
it's
be
tribal.
protected,
It's tribal land, and it has to be protected. And yet here in Miami, like there's no more land.
No.
like there's no.
No,
like,
that's why we're pushing into homestead.
right, but
or
homestead's
going-
already going to be like up to here. So
at some point or another, they're gonna end up legalizing all the what is it?
The
The land that
Everglades
they
thing?
have for the protected for the Everglades.
I don't know because the environmentals are going to have a crazy fit about that. Climate change.
We totally need crocodiles. Or alligators,
So
whatever.
I don't know, but my prediction of what's going to happen is the whole condo thing.
the condo market's gonna shift.
I think that since the assessments and the condo thing, I don't know what they're going to do about it just yet now, but I think little by little, developers are going to start buying all those people out. Who knows? They might have some politicians in their pockets and give them more assessments to buy those people out because imagine there's nowhere else to build. So what are you going to do? You have to build up. So you got to take over buildings
That are already
to then
dilapidated.
right, and then buy everybody out. If they have a certain percentage of people,
That's a very hard. It's a very extensive process, but yeah.
Yes, but it's already happening.
Yeah.
It's been happening. You don't hear about it because of course you
Especially
don't talk
the
about
ones that need, like you said, the ones that need that assessment.
There's a lot of people that can't afford the associations and the assessments, and they'll go have meetings, and if they have a certain percentage of homeowners that want to sell, then the whole building has to sell.
Unfortunately, they're I hate to say this, but they're probably not going to get what
No, they'll
enough for
give
them to move.
No, they'll give them top dollar market value. They'll give them top dollars. Once everybody agrees, they negotiate the pricing.
Yeah.
But no, because my cousin happened to one of my cousins
Okay.
a couple years ago, like
But
2
was it
years
enough for
ago.
her to move somewhere else new? Like, because the prices have gone up.
Yes, the prices have gone up, but the idea is a lot of these people who are retired would have to probably
Oh well,
move.
yeah, they relocate to
They
to other
relocate more
areas,
north.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, you leave Miami and the price changes.
Yeah.
Like you can go to Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Sebastian.
Coral.
They're still pricey. Cape Coral's beautiful.
Cape Coral is
and
moving
Cape Coral
again.
has beautiful brand new homes. You're right next to Fort Myers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fort Myers is another one. There's places, there's pockets. Not everything
Lehigh.
is Miami prices.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
know?
I mean,
The-
you just have to get out of this area.
The
It's a different
problem is,
lifestyle.
if you're gonna move, let's say from Miami to Fort Myers, you gotta be able to have employment.
Yeah. Yeah. The more people move there, potentially the more commercial businesses take place.
That's the idea, but yeah,
But it's going to take some time.
takes time.
I
But
will
real estate
say-
is a cycle.
Yeah. I will say that in comparison to a lot of other states, although the pricing might be equal, you got to look at whether or not the state has actual state income taxes as well.
Well, that's
because
another
then
thing.
if they do, then Miami, even at the same price, would be cheaper for you.
Well, I can tell you one thing. In Scottsdale, the property taxes were super cheap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, here between insurance.
So even like
our taxes are not as
buy
bad,
a
but
$2 million
insurance is
house
pretty
there,
okay.
and you buy a $2 million house here, it's gonna still be cheaper over there,
Yeah.
just because of the taxes and probably the insurance.
Yeah. Definitely the insurance because they don't get, the
I know,
hurricanes.
who knows, but they might get other stuff,
Tornadoes. Is that a thing?
tornadoes or something.
Yeah,
and who
tornado
knows?
insurance maybe.
Oh yeah, they do. They have wildfires.
Oh, the fires.
But I've
yeah.
noticed they have it more controlled than California. But I think California, like from what Marcel tells me, my little scientist, he tells me that in California, they've planted a lot of trees that are not from California. So for instance, in Arizona, you go, the agriculture, when you're in Scottsdale driving to Sedona, like you'll see a forest of
cacti,
cactus,
yeah.
right? And then by the time you hit Sedona, that's gone.
Yeah.
But they're not planning invasive agriculture that doesn't belong there. You know what I mean? In California, a lot of the forests, a lot of trees, they planted a lot of stuff that doesn't grow there. That's not from there. Yeah, it could live there, but not from there. There's a reason
So
Mother
maybe
Nature
it can't sustain the heat.
Right,
that
there's a
California
reason
has,
Mother
yeah.
Nature put a certain plant in a certain state. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. God did that for a reason. Just saying. Environmentalists.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I'm sure they were trying to help the environment with adding
No,
trees,
and that's
but
actually
still.
bad.
Yeah.
So a lot of whatever. I think the environmentalists and all that climate change is such bullshit, but whatever.
Jen loves you guys.
Okay, another reason why.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how they say Miami's sinking? Oh, real
Yeah.
estate, don't buy in Miami. There was a time that some buyers got scared and didn't want to buy in Brickell because it was sinking.
Yeah.
Last year that happened.
Is it?
Listen, if they were sinking, they wouldn't loan you money. So in Arizona, there's a little place right off in Sedona that if you buy there, you have to buy cash because they don't finance you because the ground, they're slipping. They're like,
Oh my God.
They're
They're at that
slipping.
level. So I would imagine
you
that
can't
they'll
do
have
financing.
warnings.
So if that was happening here, you think a bank is going to loan you money?
Well, or they'll have warnings, or they'll have certain things like they do. What is in New Orleans
Listen, if
where
I'm
they
a
did that
bank-
wall?
If I'm a bank and you're buying in a sinking town, and you want a $500,000 loan for 30 years, I'm not going to
you're not
lend that
going to
to
lend
you.
it for sure. But I guess what I'm saying is, with the warnings, it's not going to be a sinking like tomorrow situation,
No,
right?
these
It's
people
not-
are sinking.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Because they're hillside, so the hill,
Any rain or anything could like tear that apart. I think in our case, it's just I don't know if they think there's too much construction, too much weight over the coral, and it's just going down,
knows?
or climate change, and then the water's levels are rising, whatever the case may be. But I would think that at the point of researching this or doing whatever it is that they do to figure this out, that they would know when it's time to actually do something about it.
I mean, the thing is, climate does change. It does
Yeah.
change because the Earth evolves. Hello, there was an ice age. Then
Yeah.
we're
It's
not in
going
an
to
ice age
change,
now.
yeah.
So obviously the climate's going to change. It's
I mean,
Earth.
we haven't gotten what is it? Not tornadoes.
A hurricane. Last
since
year
what?
no. Last year we didn't get any.
We didn't get
hurricanes.
anything.
No.
Since when? It's been a long time since like Maria.
Well, are you
since
saying? Okay,
2018?
hold on. You're saying us like Miami?
Miami.
Okay, let's not jinx it. Number one. And
For
number
those of you that
two,
don't know.
Florida has though, but in the last year we didn't.
Florida but in freaking Tampa.
It doesn't matter. It's still Florida.
I know, but
But
Miami.
Miami, yes. Miami's been
and
a long
Tampa
time.
hadn't gotten. Well, yeah, I guess they do get some waves, but
Yeah.
it's not as common as Miami would have been. But yeah, but anyway, Miami.
But don't worry, the insurance is not going to go down.
No, unfortunately not. Nonetheless, real estate in Miami certainly has gotten expensive. Things are leveling out a little bit.
Yeah,
right
they
now,
have
I
gone.
would
They've
say.
gone down the last year.
Sellers are becoming more realistic. Time has passed since COVID, so decisions have to be made. On average, people live in a property for like 7 years. We're going on almost about 6 years since COVID, and therefore they're approaching that time frame of having to move, and they have to be realistic with their prices. Otherwise, they're going to stay on the market. And interest rates have lowered. Miami is still a very good place to buy.
Sellers are giving incentives. Rates
Yep.
are pretty low.
Yep. And in comparison to other places are also increasing in value. You're finding similar properties, similar values as well.
Yeah.
It's not really that much of like, in Arizona, you're going to find that much better house for.
Right.
I mean, depending on where you go, which is similar to here, it's depending on where you go.
I mean, it's going to go up. You know what I mean?
Regardless.
It's Miami.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of value here. But yeah, anything else you wanted to?
Yeah, so if you want to buy in Miami or in Florida, give us a call. We'll help you out. We'll hook you up with the best realtor in town and mortgage broker and title company. So, yeah, keep buying, people. You know, the right time to buy is whenever you have the money and you're ready. Money in the bank does nothing. Spend
100%.
it. Go spend your money
100%.
on things that are going to make you money. Don't go spend money on cars
What she
unless you
said.
need one.
What she said. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like, comment, share, tell us what you think, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.